Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the E. Zion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya. Ain't anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we're just going to do a throwback show. We had an opportunity to just have a little joke going between Kobe and I that now that the new city council at large have been elected, we have not seen him. He have not come back to say, Pastor Curry, good to see you. Thank God that you prayed for me. But he heard that we had said these comments and he knew that I was just joking, but he saw me at an event and he said he's ready to come back and face the people. So today we have Brother Alex Hackett, who's going to be with us, and I'm excited about this show. This brother's doing some great things, moving in a great direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next, because that's really what's going on. Why don't you call somebody real quickly, tell them Coffee with Curry is on, and let's get after it.
Good morning, Delaware and surrounding areas. You are now tuned in to this week's Coffee with Curry. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. with new guests every week. So grab your cup of coffee and join us on Coffee with Curry.
And we're back. Well, Brother Hackett, it took me threatening you to come and see me. What's going on? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. Like I said, I'm feeling blessed. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me always.
Yeah. And I was just joking because you have always been a good friend before this all happened, and you just really did well. Help me to understand something, because before I even get into this interview, how is it that a young brother from an HBCU just walking around knocking on doors and get the most votes in the city?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had an opportunity to be on Coffee with Curry.
Boy, you're a politician already.
But no, before anything, I just want to say thank you so much. You were the first person to believe in me, first person to give me an endorsement. I mean, as a young guy doing the work that I'm doing in the community, sometimes you don't get an award for that, and it felt so amazing for us to be here the first time, and you say, I believe in you, young fella, and that started my journey. So thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate that. I didn't even know. I thought you had a lot of endorsements, because it would be remiss of those who are older to not see the talent, the gifts that you have. Your upbringing, when I interviewed you the first time, and it was, back in the early part, I saw that you had quality. Yeah. And that's what I go off of, the character of the person. I mean, your nephew and your family, that speaks to you care about the people. Yeah. And I'm just grateful that I played any role, but man, you did the elbow, man, you did the work, because everywhere, they tell me, everybody I had shared who I was supporting, they said, yeah, that's that young brother who was knocking on doors. I said, yeah. And listen, bro, I'm proud of you. And I'm grateful that you won, and you won to a place where you sit now in power because people wanted you over some of the incumbents who had been there for years. Yeah. And I know you don't have that arrogance saying that you're better, but I want to make sure you understand the power you hold and the responsibility that you now have.
For me, what's crazy, we got past the primary election and we came third in votes in the primary. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody was just so caught up, my family and the whole city was like, don't worry, in the general election, you're going to get in there. You don't got to do anything. But I was telling everybody like, no, like I didn't start this to get the bronze. I wanted the gold.
Okay.
And I wanted to continue to work hard. And that's just me. Like I show up every day, regardless of if somebody say, oh, no way, you're going to win. I said, no, we're going to earn this win. And I felt it felt so good to see that the city believed in me. Mm-hmm. They wanted change, and they wanted a new, younger voice to be a part of their community, new, innovative thoughts. So, I'm just excited to get started. We don't get started until January 7th, but I feel like I've already been in communities, knocking on doors, asking people, what do you need?
Yes.
What do you need?
Right.
Because that's the job.
Yeah, I think what you're going to find, and we have not even gotten into the interview yet, but what you're going to find is the people just want stability, and they want to be able to know that they can depend on someone. Yeah. All too often, politicians get in and they don't care about the people anymore. Yeah. But I knew that you would be that person, and not because you was trying to get in, because you're doing pretty good in your own business. Yeah. So it's not like you needed another job, but it's your commitment to the community. Before we get started, and I don't want to go too far, I want to talk about first your family, because that was very big to you during that time. And then I definitely do not leave out your nephew, because he stole me too, because I just pulled him on the stage from just because he was hanging out with Unc. But tell me a little bit about the family, how they doing.
Everybody's doing amazing. You know, I think my family is a great opportunity for me to serve the community, but also my family, and I made a video the other day. You know, we've had some senseless murders going on in our community. And I just told families, like, I wouldn't be here today if my mom didn't allow the village to raise me.
Yes.
You know, it didn't matter if I walked outside. Somebody was able to correct me, and my mom and father was allowance to that. We got to go back to that, being able to let villages be able to open up and help you raise your kid. My mom, amazing mother, she's tired of me because every time we do an event or every time we got something going on, I'm flooding her living room. Like she can't even see her living room. Yeah. We're getting prepared for a new event that we're doing on December 7th. We're doing coats and coffee.
Okay.
Should we incorporate
curry? You can, but you can.
But no, we had got some coats for the kids.
Okay.
And my mom knows, like, I'm just one of them guys, like, we got something, let's do it. We wasn't going to wait no longer. It's getting extremely cold outside, and I think the kids could need it. So, you know, my mom plays a vital role in my success. My father is like a trooper. Like, I can call him right now. He's like, where you need me. Yeah. So, you know, the family dynamic, I couldn't ask for better parents. And I think, you know, honestly, if there was a class for, you know, people to go in and be taught by anybody, my parents would be at the forefront because they do a wonderful job. Yeah,
well, one of the things that we do need is that, you know, so as time going. But so okay, so how's that nephew doing? Because I don't want you to forget about him.
I would never forget about him. You know, it's amazing because, you know, every other day I get a text message from him like, hey, I seen that video and I was trying to do the video myself. You know, so, you know, he has this idea that he's going to be the next city councilman, and hopefully this is what it's all about.
Yes.
You know, my role I play now in my company is going out and going into every different school. And the same thing, I get feeling from kids like, hey, I seen you on a billboard. Hey, I seen you on Instagram. And my thought process is, this is what it's all about, because those same kids that's 14, 15, 16 is getting ready to become voters. And they need to be educated on not just the president, not just what's going on a bigger scale, but what's in front of you, your local office. So, you know, I'm just so happy that they're already paying attention to not just me, but like the mission I'm on.
Yeah, you know, as you were speaking, I was thinking, what's been missing in our community? Now, there are many great men, Pritchard, who I think some of your style is modeled behind, and he happened to be a fraternity brother of yours too. But what is missing severely from our community is male presence, male role models, and I think what you're doing is one of the reasons why I am compelled to say, stay resolute. Yeah. Because those young people you see are modeling who you are.
And it's modeling that's being able to capture their eyes. So, you know, we have a lot of great role models today in Wilmington, but some of our young generation might not be able to relate.
Right.
See, me, I decided that no matter what, I was going to stay true to who I was, who I am. And I also was going to incorporate the things that I like that sometimes might not be in politics. And that might be the music I like, you know, that might be the way I dress, and that might be the different things. Like, you know, I like to, you know, look good. And, you know, sometimes the kids like, well, I see him every day and he got the new Jordans on and he got this. And they like, I want to be like him. Yeah. And that's the key to me, because our kids today have to see it to become it.
That's right.
If we don't expose it to them, they won't ever be able to become it. So that's my job. I'm doing a lot of exposure these days.
Today you came to the Coffee with Curry show with your expensive Brooks Brothers suit on, which I never wear a suit on this coffee call. But I guess one of the things Jay Street often said is that whenever I show up in the public officially, I show up appropriately. But I like the fact that you understand that showing up appropriate doesn't always mean a certain tie. Yeah. Because if you're speaking with a younger generation, it's really about having on the sweatsuit or the pants, the jeans, the new Jordans or whatever else. So you understand the code switching. And that's one of the powers of a HBCU, because they teach us how to code switch. Even code switch with our language. You know, sometimes you can't be so frozen. You got to be able to meet the people where they are.
All the time. I go into the classroom and I let the kids know what it really is all the time. But, you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, we're trying to educate people on things that they're just not interested in.
Yeah.
And for so long, community has said, politics, don't talk about it. It's not nothing to talk about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so happy Kamala Harris got an opportunity to be running for president because it opened up a lot of conversations for people to say, what's going on with America right now? And everybody was talking about it. That's what needs to happen on the local level as well, because it affects your kid, it affects your wages, how you work, everything. So every day you step off your curb, out your door, it's affecting you. So you need to talk about it. So, you know, I'm just so happy to be a part of it, though. So.
Now, the election has passed. You've shared several things that you're doing already before the time come. In the second segment of this show, we're going to talk a little bit about City Council the next session. But how do you feel with the weight of really being elected and the highest vote receiver of the votes? How are you feeling? How is Alex feeling? Not Mr. Hackett, but how do you feel?
You know, I'm beyond blessed. One thing about me, I'm a worker. You know, I put my head down and I continue to work. So maybe it hasn't hit me yet. Inauguration is January 7th. Maybe it hit me then. But when we won, I was just like, all right, it's time to work. Like I didn't already kind of mapped out like what my first 90 days going to look like, you know, and what I want to be able to tackle possibly. I reached out to so many people in the community. Like, we need to, like, where can I be at? Where can I be at? Because, you know, I'm overseeing the whole Wilmington being at large. So it's a big, you know, scale to, you know, be able to tip. So I'm just happy, you know. I can't complain.
And they wanted you.
And, you know, to be 31 years old and be a city councilman in the city that, like, raised you is like, it's like a best feeling. So what we did was, I grew up and I've always been, you know, a fan of Allen Iverson. You know, I got braids because of Allen Iverson. So, you know, I told myself, like, when we won, and I had it like already pitched out. I already knew. We took pictures similar to Allen Iverson's draft day. And we basically kind of similar, did the same thing. We came first in draft. So I basically did a Wilmington City Council draft on my own Instagram. And I was kind of like the first pick with no one vote. So it was like a real surreal moment to really be able to say, hey, listen, my city believed in me. And I don't think there's no better feeling. And now, you know, I wouldn't say like the best feeling. I walked into Walgreens the other day and I was getting ready to I went to just get a Tylenol, and this young lady was whispering. She was like, that's our city councilman, but didn't say it towards me. And they went to the back and must have went and got the loud friend. And she came up front and she said, that's our city councilman, that's our. So, you know, I mean, for people that knew me, grew up with me, to have that pride to say he's gonna make sure that nothing happens to us. And I feel that strong-heartedly. Like every day I wake up, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of these people in the community that believed in me. So people want to know that you care. People care that you care. And even for the quiet one who saw you, she wouldn't be sure the loud one understood. She went right back to the back. I said, where is they coming from? But that feeling was like a feeling that I could never imagine. You know, I sat out every day, early voting. I was outside every day, right out in front of the PAL. Even the general election, when they told me I didn't need to be out there, but I told everybody every morning I showed up. Well, that's why you got the level of votes you got, because the people saw that you cared. You didn't just say, well, I won, so I'm here. You know, and you know, at some point when people take for granted their position or their ability to do something, it's going to reverse. And I'm glad that you really took it to heart. Oh, day in and day out. You know, I was, you know, I go back to, you know, I wouldn't, 4 years ago, I just started my learning in politics. You know, my family, nobody was privy to that. I'm the first in my family to be inside of politics. And, you know, I got to be around Senator Carper. And, you know, it was amazing just to see a guy that's not even from Delaware work as hard as he did compared to me that's born and bred here. Like, I was like, he's not outworking me. And I just I had that in the back of my mind. Like, I'm not letting nobody outwork me. Like, nobody, no matter what position it is, nobody's going to outwork me, especially for a community that I know I wouldn't be where I'm at if they didn't put their hand on me, touch me, and raise me. So, you know, I'm so happy. Like, I can't even, like, it's crazy. I'm a city councilman. Well, that speaks to the grace of God over your life, and and it's not crazy. It's destined, and your passion that you currently have. I hope you keep that passion, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of work to be done, and you come with a different perspective. You didn't come from Philadelphia. You didn't come from some other place. You came from right here.
and your people lifted and elevated you to this spot. And that's just awesome, man. I wouldn't have interviewed you well without at least coming at your fraternity. But how are your brothers doing with you? Are they giving you that love and that accolade? Because you are really representing them really well.
No, so I'm like part of the Dover Alumni Chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Sit on the board of our chapter. So I'm overly happy. They stood tall for me every step of the way. Those guys came down for both of my elections, the primary and the general election, and stood on those polls with me every day to make sure that I got the awareness out there, donated to the fullest. For a young candidate, fundraising is always the hardest part because, it's like, what are we giving to? We don't know you yet. I just had a great back in the Monday Club. I'm a part of the Monday Club.
Oh, are you? That means you got a couple of dollars.
Yeah, they gave great support. I'm a member of the 100 Black Men. So, I had a lot of organizations that were around me that supported. But I'm be honest with you, we had a lot of donations that came strictly from the community. I asked everybody. We had $5 Fridays every Friday. Every Friday. And I just tell people, like, if you believe in me, if you're going to vote for me, send that investment in. Because a lot of times you don't get the investment that you need from your community, and then you get the investment from other people that come outside, and then that's what happens sometimes with our politicians. They now have agreements with the other side instead of having agreements with their community. But the community got to realize it's a two-way street. I need you to also pour into me so I can pour it back into you as well.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, we're enjoying this conversation, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, but I'm just excited that what I'm hearing now that the results are in is what I'm believing going to happen. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Local news and politics in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. The latest headlines with your host, Dr. C.T. Curry.
But they get rich, getting new cars, getting new houses, getting new opportunities, but the community is still getting nothing.
And co-host Kobe Owens.
And from that time, we have slowly seen our democracy become under attack.
Weekly episodes. Sundays at 5 p.m. The Source.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
This land we love belongs to all of us. Yet not everyone is treated equally. Right now, millions of Americans are fighting for the things promised to all by the Constitution: freedom, justice, equality. The ACLU is leading the fight to protect our civil liberties. Together, we can protect and advance our rights nationwide, because we the people means all of us.
This land was made for you and me.
Learn how the ACLU is defending the right to vote, free speech, and other civil liberties at myaclu.org.
And we're back. Great conversation with Brother Hackett. Now the elected city council at large for the whole entire city. Some of the things that he talked about that was so important to me is that he's not going to and has not forgotten his roots. He was born and bred here in Wilmington, and he's very clear. He's on fire. And I'm excited about that. I prayed, Brother Hackett, I'm just going to turn to you for a second and say, honestly, I did pray for the city of Wilmington. I'm not from here, and it's no secret. I'm from Philadelphia. Sometimes when I speak, people act like, they say, well, he act like he's from here. He ain't from here. But the passion I have for those who are underrepresented, those who can't speak, those who don't have power, is not so that I can gain more power, because I've never asked any elected official, including yourself, for anything. I just want to be treated right for the people that I serve. But I prayed for people like yourself, Kobe, Bracy, Harley, and God has kind of answered prayer. This council is in your hands. And it doesn't mean that you're not the chair or the president of city council, and I pray for Trippy as well.
Right.
Because I hope that when y'all come back into session and y'all rules, give him back the power of that office. Because you may be the next city council president. And you want to make sure that you have the power to do what you need to do. But I thought it was just disgraceful how it was taken from him. But let me go to my point. I pray that God would give us some people who had a mind to just serve people, not their special interests. Where, for example, if they were given $1,000 or something from a certain group, then they just serve in that purpose.
Right.
But this community need people like you, Kobe, and others. I'm just trying to figure out and make sure you understand that your job, even though you're very active, your job is so large. And are you really in for the task?
Oh, I'm completely in, 100%.
Yeah.
I've been around for the last 4 years just studying. It's just like if I went back to college. And, this moment of me being city council is like graduating.
Okay.
But once you graduate, that's when the work begins.
Yes.
And, I'm intrigued to, really get into council. I think for me, we got a lot of young voices that's getting ready to go in. But I think the biggest part is making sure that we all can come together and work together for the cause of the people. I know we're all going to have different ideas and different agendas, but the biggest thing is like, how can we get it all done together? And I'll be honest with you, I think that's like one of my strongest suits, and I think that's what I'm here for, to be able to be that guy like, hey, listen, you got one way, you got one way, but today we have to figure out a way that's going to make it work for both of us and the people. So, I'm extremely happy, but I think we're going to be able to get some things done. If you've seen during the election, both sides, if there was a division, both endorsed me on those sides because they both realize and believe that I'm just here for the people. I always will be. And at the end of the day, whatever you guys got going on, when I get in the table, we're going to figure out how we can work together for the people.
Good.
And that's just the bottom line. Nobody on that council, the people don't work for them. The council works for the people.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, that's how it needs to be. And I think it needs to be firm, and I think the people need to know that. And I'm so happy because every step of the way, when I say I'm going to be transparent, I mean it. The people are going to know exactly what we're talking about as far as what we're in that session, what's on the docket. They're going to know on the agenda. Why we're talking about these issues. Right now, they have marijuana they're talking about. Right now, they gave $10 million to the Longwood Foundation. There's so many different things that's going on right now that I don't think our community knows about at all. And that should never happen.
Yeah, and for all too often, Kobe have been a single voice.
Oh yeah,
in sharing, not always on the negative side. Because what I love about him is that he can disagree with you.
Right.
And then still find a way to work with you so that his people can still be heard. Listening to you, I sense you have that exact same spirit in that, no, you're not going to compromise, but you will cooperate in order to ensure that we get to an end result that is going to benefit the community.
Always.
And I think that's so important. And as an educated man, and I'm a very strong stickler of HBCUs, but as an educated man from an HBCU, that's how we've been taught to do it. Not to have our self-interest, but to have the interest of those that we are representing. So as you're moving forward, and you said like several people, I want to give a little shout out now, quite natural. There were whenever you have a person who wins the election and then you have somebody who loses, we should not be demonizing people.
Right. 100%.
I am very much, and I said this to Kobe, and I said on one of my shows, I did not think John Carney was going to be kind to me.
Right.
Because I've not always been kind to him. Because I am very big on A, B, C, and D. And sometimes it's the people who work around you. Because when I got in and had a real conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, it changed the whole trajectory of my thoughts. I'm hoping that the same sermon I'm preaching to you, that I will be able to live and say, you know what? Let's give people a chance.
Yeah.
We're not going to sell our souls, but we got to give people a chance because we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And when you talk about all these different things that are happening, you don't want to be so far against the administration that you're not effective.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to make sure I understand your art of compromise.
And I think I've seen that several sessions where, it was just a division.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we also got to understand and figure out how does this cycle work? The mayor has his administration and he has his goals. He passes his goals and things he wants to happen for the city down to the city council. City council then reviews it if it's the budget, or many other things, tasks that goes down. And we have to figure out just making sure that these tasks and the vision that he has is just aligned with the community. And it's not going to always be, hey, we're going with the mayor. It's not going to always be, hey, we're going to, no, it should always be, we're finding a mutual ground where we're figuring out how we can align the vision of the mayor's administration and also the people.
Yeah.
Always. And the city council. Like, everybody has a part to play here. And I think for some time now, a lot of council might have felt like the mayor had done exactly what he needed to do and not addressing them. And some probably thought the opposite. For me, I've been here my whole life. So I've seen what our community looked like when there was nothing on the riverfront, when there was nothing on Market Street, when there was nothing by Rodney Square. And I strongly, I've been in visit different cities. When I just came from the Economic Development Administration, I traveled all over the United States of America to see how cities are operating. We needed that. We needed to bring revenue in. We needed to bring in more economic development, more excitement. That does not mean that now as we move forward, we find ways to be more of a people champion. And I think that's the city council role right there. We need to figure out affordable housing immediately.
Right.
That's just one of the main priorities that's going on all over America. We need to figure that out. And I think the council, instead of trying to do 100 million things, we need to sit down and figure out 1 or 2 things that we could do in 4 years and tackle it together.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the things I went and met with the governor, the mayor-elect about was affordable housing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I am a very strong advocate, and as you drove on the campus today, which, by the way, I owe you a ticket because you came on my campus the wrong way. I saw that I was in another building and you came up the wrong way. It says, do not enter, and you illegally. So I'm putting on there his first violation, and we're going to make him.
I got to check and see if my glasses are on because they might not have been on. But I did see in front of this construction is some housing being built.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, we're putting together, and we want to have, and what I'm trying to do is model what real affordable housing is.
Yes.
Once you see these houses, and I'm going to invite you for our grand opening. Once you see these houses, got elevators in them.
Oh.
Yes, because they're for seniors.
Yeah,
These are for seniors.
Okay.
And you're going to see that the quality of brick as well, not just all siding going on.
Yeah.
We really invested. But the people who will benefit will not be those individuals who can meet a certain medium income in this community, because now that the riverfront is down there, the income level is high. Yeah. But for real, whatever their income is, but they cannot be they got to be below a certain level.
Right.
And then that will become their rent. So for an example, and just giving you an example, if a person make $1,000 a month, their rent is going to end up being $330 a month.
Ooh.
And that's affordable housing.
That's affordable housing. You know why?
Go ahead.
You know why? Because that allows them then to be able to live.
Right.
Then be able to be happy in the city of Wilmington. See, we're failing to have that realized. See, when you have affordable housing, but somebody still has to pay for daycare, somebody still has to figure out how their kids going to get to school, so that's gas, car, insurance. By the time you look at everything, we're all in the negative here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people in Wilmington cannot be in the negative. We have to figure out, that is the prime reason for council and government to make sure people in your community are thriving and they're living the best way they possibly can. People in Wilmington don't feel that way.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out a way to get them back.
And we will. Yeah. We will. I believe with the intellect of yourself and others.
And Kobe.
And
Kobe.
Yeah,
he's an
boy.
intelligent brother. Listen, I was talking to him the other day, and I'm so impressed by all the things that he knows. Yeah. I call him every day, hey, Kobe, what is this? Kobe, what is this? Because he knows for me, like, I'm a seeker of knowledge, so I'm always trying to figure out new things. Yeah. Kobe already knows it. Yeah. So Kobe is like, hey, listen, this is what this is. So I'm happy to have a brother on council that I can lean on. Finally, so that we can be able to tackle this together. Because as young candidates, like I said before, the support, you also think is going to be there for young candidates. You also think that they're going to pass the torch for you to be the next, but that just doesn't happen. I'll be honest with you. I asked a million people for help. And through my journey, I had to figure it out. So that's when I say, I am so happy, Pastor Curry, you understand. I'm so thankful of you because like before, you might, from the outside looking in, might be like, oh, that young brother got it on, but you set the tone for my campaign. Well, I appreciate for me to be here today.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, and this show ain't about me today. It's about you. So we want to make sure we keep it on you because honestly, I don't do any of this stuff for me. I really want to make sure you are right. Because if you are right, my daughter's going to be all right because you're that generation above her.
Yes.
And that's the goal. Mm-hmm. The goal is to make sure that you are right. And I'm listening to you today. I'm going to have on, Tishy's going to come on, Kobe's going to come on. And when you talked about Kobe, for an example, he was supposed to win 2 elections ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And he didn't because his no knowledge caused some people to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But God knows what he's doing. Now he's going to be in with a council where he can become really effective with yourself and others who want to push the city forward and push out of the way. People who just doesn't really want to do anything. Yeah. The city is excited and they're looking forward.
Because I've had multiple conversations. People have a lot of conversations. A lot of people have called me and I told them, every time we do something that does not have a benefit to the community, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It might sound good. It might be a good project, but I'm always going to ask, well, because this project is being laid here, what can you do here? Because honestly, I always think to myself, like, it's a lot of people coming into city council and they have these great ideas on what they want to do and they pitch these great ideas. But the biggest thing is when you have the east side right there, and you have the west side, and you have the south bridge, and you have north side, and there's families that are struggling every day to make sure that families are living a great life or living okay. I need people to understand we got to put it back into the people. It has to be more people development. Yeah. Has to be.
And what I'm hoping you would do, and this is just me giving open advice, because the people, we agree with you 100% on the housing.
Yes.
Because without that, we are nothing.
Nothing.
And the second one is the crime.
Yes.
We understand, and the older school, the generation above me, they tend to say, since it's black on black crime is the black cause for that.
Yeah.
But in actuality, because there's no housing, because there's no quality education going on, because there's no real economic stuff happening for them, a lot of times it result to this. But I hope that whatever committees you serve on in the city council, you please get on at least those two areas.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I grew up in an area where, crime has been high. And, for me, my first 90 days, we're doing a listening tour.
Okay.
We're going to tour all over the city of Wilmington. We'll be releasing that shortly just so I can hear everything that's going on. Everybody wants me because like I told Kobe and like I told everybody on council, I don't work for anybody but the people.
Yeah.
So, whatever they set forth and whatever they want, that's what I'm going to push the envelope. But we've had an number of people that already stressed about affordable housing and our crime. But I always tell people crime is like a cycle. Like, it's not just people out here committing crimes. People committing crimes because they don't also have apprenticeships that's helping people go into the local unions or going over to the port. That, those pipelines and those partnerships have to be not just there, but they have to be seen.
Okay.
We also talk about our jobs for our youth. Reach Riverside and them over at the Teen Warehouse is doing by far the best job at that. Those kids go over there and they learn soft skills and they get paid just to do that.
Yes.
That needs to be over at Westside, at William Hicks. That needs to be over at MSK.
Good.
That needs to be over at DePal.
Yes.
So that kids can not only just go in there just to go in there, but they get paid. That money then gives them the opportunity to go have food, be able to get the nutrition that they need. Stay out of trouble. Safe havens. But if I got to go to the warehouse or if I got to go to the Boys and Girls Club just to go, that's not the case no more. These kids today are on social media. They see that they want money. So we have to now meet our kids where they're at. And we have to figure out those different programs that's going to help them. I'm talking to Malcolm and them guys on Future First Gaming. Our kids sit every day on the game. How do we not just have them at the house, but now bring them out so now they playing against each other? We have to bring more collaborative family aspect back. When I grew up, I played in the Wilmington Football League. So I played with the Trojans. But we had the Huskies. We had the Bulldogs. We had so many, and those rivalries built families.
Absolutely.
And we need to bring that back. Same thing with basketball. Same thing with other sports. But today, and I have nothing against it, but I think a lot of things have been pushed towards STEM. And that is a great opportunity for our kids to be able to be advanced.
Right.
But there are some kids that say, hey, listen, after high school, I might not be going this direction. What do you have for me?
Right. That's right.
That's another idea that's right.
We were a stronger nation when we did push STEM, but also pushed trade, also pushed military, because what happens is you give people an opportunity to be successful.
Yes, sir.
And when you push people to be one thing, then you're monolithic, and that's not good.
Yeah, especially with college. I tell people all the time, I wasn't even going to college. My mom did the application for me, and I got an opportunity to go down there and see different things. But now I'm a You know, I hate to say this, but I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I work for myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, my child, when he comes into this world, he or she will probably only go to college if they want the experience, because I'm creating a family business that they can just walk in and they can continue to work and grow and take care of their family today. Because today we have a lot of kids that just don't want to go to college, but know how to do hair, know how to do esthetician. I'm trying to teach these young kids that's on the corners and the barbers, get in the barbershop, learn how to cut hair. Because these barbers today are making $60 a head.
Yeah, and only 15 minutes.
You know, and trying to teach them the equation of the math.
Yeah.
See, our kids today, they just want to make money. So the first thing they see is when I walk outside, I see the guy on the corner, he's making money, he got the nice cars, he got all the girls, you know, that's what they see. So once again, and when you see it, you become it.
Yeah.
We got to give them different images to become something. My mentor is Logan Herring. I get to visually see a CEO in operation every day for me to become a CEO now and be able to operate at that efficiency. So it only happens when you see it.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're doing good, but you said something that I'm going to now mess with you on, and that is when your children come, you are 31.
Yeah.
We're going to see if there's anything in the future. Ladies, come back. We'll be right back.
Join us live for our weekly worship. Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, Pastor, I'm doing the best I can, but I still gotta have a little Chardonnay, and I still gotta have a little this, and I gotta still sneak around. The devil is a liar. That's an excuse.
Wilmington's most exciting church.
One more time before you wake up in the wild. In your eyes, I see a flower slowly dying.
Together with the Nature Conservancy, you have the power to make a difference. For unspoiled nature, for beautiful wildlife, and for people everywhere. Together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive.
Oh, in the wild, you're gonna make it. The moonlight is here to take you.
Our natural world needs us now. Every day, we lose more lands, waters, and the wild species that depend on them. To learn more, visit nature.org today.
And we're back. Great conversation. This has been wonderful. I hope that you will share this time together with Brother Hackett. Brother Hackett, you have really set yourself up for something now, because as I was sitting there listening to you, you was talking about how you're building this empire for the family to come, the generations to come, which is really good too. Before I get into the soft side of our interview. And I think that it's great that you build all this stuff, but you talked about, for your children to come. Now, you're a role model, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that means you're gonna make sure that you tie the knot at some point, right? Okay. So is there any perspectives out there?
If it was up to my mom, I would already got it done. But for me, I'm still trying to figure it out. I think it's been a little difficult, a guy that's been just chasing goals and dreams. So I think, once we get into council and I get myself situated, I think I open that up and be able to explore that.
All of you ladies out there who just heard that answer, that means there's still hope for you. for those of you, this is great. And you like to say your mom would already had it done.
Yeah.
But you trying to figure out, and but before, and let me jump serious for just 1 second and come back to the joking. People don't understand that. I did not get married until I was 32.
Yeah.
Why? Because I was chasing my education. I mean, I stayed in school. I got married the same year I got my PhD.
Wow.
Because I had to stay focused.
Yeah.
I stayed focused on the career and things I was doing so that I would be meaningful to some person.
Yeah.
I tend to believe, and this show is not about me, but I just want to say this. I tend to believe I'm a heck of a father because now I have time for a daughter.
Yeah.
As opposed to when I was 20, trying to make things happen, I would have been missing in action. Even as a pastor, I was able to just have this church moving before our daughter came. So I say hats off to you for not rushing into something. No. But now that we are relaxing, we have somebody come in, or you said you're going to focus in, or are you already trying to focus in on it, or what's happening?
Right now, the only focus, my mom tells me all the time, hey, you got to stop being so driven. But, it was, this is like one of those things in a lifetime where, it only happens once. I don't know if I ever be the next city councilman or president or mayor, but like today, we was tracking a goal that I had for some time now, and the focus was laser. Okay. So I was just putting all the energy and time I had into becoming the next city councilman. And when I do things, I put my energy into it and I invest into it. So just want to make sure I got the right investment for that lady to come when it's time.
Well, you answered like a politician, and I appreciate that. And for those girls who are probably out there saying, okay, I'm the one he's really thinking about. Yes, you are the one. All 5 of y'all. Y'all are the one, okay? But let's go on with this. Because people are watching you. They are watching what you're doing. Everybody noted that you received the most votes. I see more than just city council at some point. It may not be right away. Sometimes you can't just immediately say, I see the president, city council. It may be several years before that occurs. Yeah. But I see that if the quality of you remained on TV, I want to give you some advice that was given to me. And it helped my life. And I want to say it to you. And I hope when you get ready to run for mayor, or governor, or whatever, you'll be able to remember these words.
Yeah.
The only way a black man can be destroyed is if he steals or can't keep his zipper right. Mm-hmm. That was said to me, and I took it to heart.
Yeah.
Walk in your integrity. Your parents raised a giant. You know who you are. You can't nobody define who you are. So you don't have to go around trying to be something you're not.
Right.
I just want to give you that advice. If nothing else I can plant in your life or give you, I want to make sure I've given you what was given to me, because that is what kept me moving.
Yes.
So I just want to get that to you. You were going to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, listen, I got that knowledage early on.
Good.
And
Good.
I think the biggest thing for me is to continue to move forward, continue to put my head down and do the work. You continue to do the work. The only thing you can stay focused on is God, the work, and family. So, I'm happy. I'm happy on those ends.
Okay.
You don't got to worry about that with me.
Okay, good. Okay. Good. And now that we're coming to the end of the show, I want to just share that I heard some good news that may be even helpful for you. That the chief of staff, now we don't say any names because we don't know. The governor could change his mind, the mayor could change their mind. But another community-rooted person, I don't know if you heard any rumors. We're not saying no names, but I don't know if you heard any rumors. But have you heard any rumors about who it could be?
Just a little, man. I think
just a little?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Like you said before, some of these different things, you can hear a name today, be here tomorrow, maybe not. So, we just got to watch and see. But, I'm hoping and praying that, it's on the right agenda for that person. And hopefully they can continue to help us lead the city in the right path.
Let me assure you, if it's who I'm hearing, I will stand on this stage. I'll stand on any stage and say, I know this person. And not only do I know this person, but this person has a track record of producing excellence. So when people say, even though the mayor is the one who makes the decisions, but behind the scenes, making sure people are operating in efficient, this is going to be great. And for those of you who are wondering, who are they talking about? If I say a name, then it doesn't happen. You're like, oh, Pastor Curry lied.
Right.
But I'm just excited about this particular individual because it's, again, young people understand community, understand people, what the people want, I think it's going to be a great day for the city the next
For
couple
sure.
years.
And I totally agree. Right now they're doing some transitioning. As I'm pretty sure people seeing that they Governor Carney hired, now Mayor Carney has hired his transition team to be able to transition into the mayor. He has one of our, Kevin Kelly seniors on their board. I did see that. So that's good. That
and
guy,
Kevin is a good guy. He ran a couple times, but he's a good guy too.
I was just getting ready to say,
and he's a community person too.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, because when I had first, decided, I don't say this a lot, but I tell you, Pastor Kerry, it's about 70,000 people in Wilmington, maybe more, and I was just telling my team, like, we can't knock on all these doors.
Mm-hmm.
We can't call all these people. Like, we have to do a different approach. Mm-hmm. And we were probably the first to translate into a different marketing scale when it came to politics. We created so many different marketing strategies, and they worked. Mm-hmm. I didn't knock on that many doors. I didn't do that many calls. The only reason why I knocked on doors is because of Kevin Kelly. And I appreciate him so much, because I was telling Kevin Kelly, I was like, Kev, I only got a team of 4 people. There's no way I'm going to be able to knock on that many doors. And he was like, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm doing it, you come to do it with me. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, you ain't got to ask me. And we went out and we knocked doors. But when we knocked doors, we talked about everything. Mm-hmm. He'd been on city council, served on city council, park and rec. Like, I got the opportunity to get the knowledge from him. So I am forever grateful to Kevin Kelly.
Yes.
And I want to thank him so much. Yes. And I'm happy to see where he's going and where he's a part of the transition team. I was able to see the transition team last night. So, we should be in good favor.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. And thank you for bringing up Kevin Kelly too, because people have overlooked the work he's done.
Oh, for sure. And when I tell you the people over there in that Browntown area, up there by not Padua, St. E's, that's his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, we walked there, and I thought he was the king over there.
Yeah.
But everybody on that area respected him.
Yes.
And you know why? Because he always showed up.
That's right.
And still to this day, he shows up. He calls me constantly just to check on me, see how I'm doing, how my point of view is. Like, he's just embedded and he really cares about our community. And I love people like that. Like, when some people tell me about people and they be like, I don't care. Because I love somebody that can sit with me and I can feel that passion about the city of Wilmington.
Yeah.
He has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm happy that he's a part of this, and I'm happy I can lean on him as well, because in politics, I think people fail to realize that, like, the history of the past is very much privy to how our future is going to be.
That's right.
And for me, I need to understand the past for us now to be in the present, but for us to have a better future. So for me to be able to talk to Kevin Kelly, I know Mayor Carney very well. I know so many people on the council. It's on.
Yes, and I'm grateful for that. It's so refreshing to just hear you show that you're able to see the diversity. Yeah. And me sitting and watching you right now, I can see that you're not one dimensional.
No,
and that's kind of unusual for Kappas.
No, listen.
That's kind of unusual. Because, you Kappas are just one-dimensional. Y'all just out against for one thing. Yeah. But, man, and that's just a joke with all my Kappa friends out there and my dad who's one, too. But man, you're more than one-dimensional, and that's good, man. I can't wait. I'm going to bring you back, let's say, sometime in the summer next year so that you can tell us what's going on. And, again, you're focused. So that's going to really give you the success that you really need.
Well, I can't wait to be back. It's been, like I said before, it's been a blessing to be able to get the opportunity to sit on Coffee and Curry. And we was outside every day for early vote and see, I think, my mom was like, you want to be out there every day? And I was like, yeah. I was like, because even if these people don't vote for me, they still have to meet me.
Right.
I still want to talk to them.
Right.
I still wanted to say, hey, listen, so many people that came out there and said, you know what? Why should I vote for you? And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to explain myself.
Yeah.
People make the decision on who they're going to vote for City Council at Large when they got to the polls. So, but so many people that even said, hey, I don't know who you are, but I voted for you.
There you go.
And I was like, well, hold on, give me 5-10 minutes so I can tell you about me, because I don't want you to ever vote for somebody you don't know and you don't know what they stand on.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be representing you. And I want you to know who your council person is. Like, that's my number one mission. When anybody in the city of Wilmington, when they say who my council person, they're going to be like, Alex Hackett, and they're going to feel proud about it, because before I ran, before 4 years ago, people was like, who that council person? They couldn't tell me. And that has to change.
Right.
Because they need to be able to know where they can get their resources from.
Right.
You know? But I will tell everybody, it is part-time though. Nah, this is not part-time.
Well, even though it's full-time, but you're only getting part-time wages.
You're only getting part-time wages.
But what I love about it is that by you being an entrepreneur and you've built your business and building it, but you built the foundation of it, you will be able to give it the muscle that it needs for.
So, you know, I came from education. Most people know at Coombe Academy Charter School. Most people don't know, but when I started through a temp agency as a one-on-one. So I was through a temp agency one-on-one. And through my years, going back to the government, I was hearing during COVID, there was gonna be a shortage in teachers. There was gonna be a shortage in staff. And my first thing I thought was like, no way. I know everybody in the community. I have the pipeline of people that graduate from Wilmington U, Dell State, Dell Tech. People are gonna need jobs because if there's gonna be a shortage in education, there might be a scarcity in the commercial world where people, they're not doing any hiring. So people need to figure out what they're going to do when they graduate, or if they got laid off, what they're going to do when they get laid off. So what I did was I created a staffing agency. So now I staff all the charter schools in Delaware. All the way from
wow.
All the way from New
So you're taking after your other frat brother.
Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Pritchard.
Yeah. So, you know, before he passed, oh my God, amazing brother. Yeah. You know, he had an event over at Howard High School, and that was my first time ever meeting him. He's a giant. Yeah. You know, and you know, so many people praise him. I told him before I even started, I said, you know, I'm thinking about starting a staffing agency. He had a staffing agency. It's still going to this day. I think his wife is running it.
That's right.
You know, and I even if they need any help from me, I'm pulling hands. But like, he was like one of the guys like, hey, listen, you got to do this. You got to be here. You got to make sure you take care of people in Wilmington. Right. And that's what I'm doing. Every day, I'm giving almost 300 jobs back to our community throughout a year for people that might not have a degree, but know how to teach our kids. For people that do have degrees, but not in education, but know how to go in and teach our kids. That's what we're missing, because there's a lot of people that get certifications every day, but don't know how to teach our kids that's coming from our community, that's dealing with trauma, that's dealing with, they just had a shooting last week. Yeah. They need somebody that understands that, not just coming in saying what's 3 + 3 and what's 5 + 5. You need to figure out this problem. I got kids that's coming in trying to figure out what they're gonna eat. They didn't eat last night. And you telling them they can't get an extra breakfast. No, my son, when we come in there, we're gonna make sure, I might even go get them food to make sure they have. So I called it community staffing agency because we was not just gonna bring in staff, but we was gonna build a community around the schools. I'm at a school yesterday, and I won't take up too much time, but I'm at a school yesterday, La Espera, and I could see that the teachers just coming in every day. And I wanted to be able to give back to the teachers. So I had a partnership with my nonprofit, with Amazon and other different companies, and they give me a lot of stuff that I can give back to the community. And we had an overage of women's shoes. So yesterday, I gave every woman that's in that school shoes. Excellent. And they were having a ball. It was like they went shopping. It was free. But the morale of now them going back to teach our kids is way better. They're going back in there fired up. And that's what I want. I just want our teachers to have a great experience. I was an educator. I know what it's like to go in there every day. It's like you going to war. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you go into war, you got to have the right supplies. You got to have the right tools. And you got to have the right lieutenant and captain to be able to lead you into the right fire.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I probably need to do is bring you back for just the business part. Tell us one more time, and we're going to put it on the screen, the name of your agency.
So right now, I am the owner of Community Staffing Agency. I am the owner of the nonprofit Community Cares, and I am the owner of Players Only Athletics. They all are connected towards education in the community and their resources. Community Staffing Agency goes into our school and educates our educators and help them out with our kids every day. Community Cares is a resource hub. We do 4 different programs out throughout the year, which is a book bag drive, a toy drive, an Easter egg hunt, and a trunk or treat, making sure that we have a safe environment for our kids. And then Players Only Athletics I just wanted to make sure that our players had the swag that they needed in high school. So if you've seen St. Mark's, if you've seen Sally's, if you've seen Glasgow, if you've seen Brandywine, if you've seen all the other schools in their basketball, football, and their traveling sweatsuits, Middletown, they've been supplied by Players Only Athletics. So if your school needs anything, let me know, because we have it all.
And how do we get in touch with you? Outside of City Council.
I tell people all the time, I am a direct line. You can find me anywhere, but my email is ahackett@wearecsa.com. Or I tell people all the time, I'm an open book. I have a phone strictly for the community, and the number is 302-252-8982.
Now, all that's on the screen here. Sisters, don't you call that number. That's for the community, not for the sisters to call to get set up on their date. Brother Hackett, honestly, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm grateful for you. And thank you again for coming back to see me. But we're going to bring you back for the agency part because there are a lot of people who need jobs. And we want to let them see the full effect of what your organization, your company is doing.
So before we go, one thing that I know for a fact that I will be implementing during my city council is every quarter, I will be doing a career fair for our community. I will also be visiting the seniors, making sure that whatever they need, if it's bingo, if it's anything, we're going to have fun one quarter. I'm going to visit every senior home. And then we're also going to do an education where I pop into schools and I just educate them on politics. Good. Every quarter, those 3 things will happen. So people that need jobs, please find me because we're going to find you. People that are seniors, don't worry, I'm coming. And when I come, we're going to have a ball. And then our education is the key. For us kids to be successful, they have to know what's going on early. Well, I'm talking about, I'm going to elementary. We got Stubbs right there. We got Thomas Edison. We got Eastside Charter. We got Kumba. We even got First State Montessori, and we got Fieri. They going to see me. Good. I'm going to be there because our kids is growing up in the politics now because they got your boy Hackett.
All right, John. Okay, I like the confidence. Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Not today.
I'm here. You can tell me anything.
I see you. We're in this together.
Breakthroughs are happening.
Treatments are evolving.
The stats can change.
Society can change.
We can all say, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
If we're together, bound to be better. When we're together.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, they haven't drank anything, they're cold, they're dehydrated.
As soon as we started our descent, everywhere I could see was mud. Just absolutely mud.
The country has been in prolonged drought for so long, it was like a tinderbox waiting to go up.
Okay, very heavy. Each of us wants to be part of the solution, and we can be. Remember that there's good happening right now. At home.
All right, we were able to get into your unit, and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
okay. And around the world. For any animal in any disaster. So let's focus on that, right? Be part of the solution, one rescue at a time. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
Life can throw a lot at us. But what helps us through it is knowing we have a place where we feel loved, grounded, and safe. A place where we belong. A place called home. But for thousands of youth living on the streets, there's no such thing as home. Out here, it's a predatory world that can destroy lives forever. At Covenant House, we care for homeless and at-risk youth, working in communities just like yours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here, these kids will get a shower, clean clothes, nourishing meals, and a safe place to sleep. Our caring staff teach life skills, offer stability, and encourage kids to believe in themselves so they stay off the streets for good. We're committed to giving lost, scared, and hurting children a place to go, a place to call home. To help or get help, go to safeplacetosleep.org.
And we're back. What a great, great interview. I'm so in awe because God once again shows favor, and he does it with those who are younger, who showing me that the generations to come will be able to survive. Because with all the things that are going on, the shootings, the murders, the this, the that, the hustle and the bustle, it sometimes worry me that maybe the time to come will not be as it has been. I am grateful for people like Brother Hackett. I'm grateful for those who really commit themselves to the community that they came from. So I'm looking forward to more work, more time with him, as well as with the city council, so that we can be the people who God has called us to be. Until the next time we get together, may the Lord God bless you real good.
Thank you for watching this episode of Coffee with Curry. Tune in next week, Sunday at 11 a.m.